close your eyes and take a deep breath. Breathe out and imagine you're in Sydney, October 1915. You're walking through Darling Harbour and the newspaper headlines are saying, Australian heroes. The Australian splendid beginning, unsurpassed courage and skill shown by our men in Gallipoli. These headlines spark a light inside of you. You want to be over there with these young men and help out with this cause to prove your strength and courage. The hero's war, you think to yourself with admiration. It is your turn now and you wish to be classed as a hero, and what makes it better, you have just turned 18. You're off to register. Meanwhile, Richard Walter is eating his dinner in a trench in the Dardanelles. Richard has a mouthful of his stew. It is cold and watered down. He dips a stale biscuit to soften it and chews it slowly. It is a cold evening as he sits against the wall of his trench. It was just 2 months ago that he landed at Gallipoli, and since then not much has happened. Just a general warfare and progression, but other than cold stew, trenches and the odd duel between the Turks, that is as lively as it has been. Hey Rick, come play a game of darts, mate, another soldier shouts out to him from the corner. Yeah, maybe soon after I finish this slop. Nothing compares to Mum's Sunday roast, but it'll do. He chuckles mildly back at the group. He takes off his boots and sees the yellow pus incision on his calf as a scatter of sores start to etch up their way up his ankles. Bruises and swollen toes take shape of what used to be his foot as the lice bite into his skin. He is readily itching and each man helps each other take them out of their clothes. But it is an epidemic lost cause. The lice are never ending and the progress is at a standstill. Richard puts his boot back on and looks up above him into the stars. He has been at war for 10 months now. He was one of the first lot of chivalric and charismatic men to take their adventures overseas. But this heroism is questionable as he lies in lice-infested bedding, waxing his gun for tomorrow. It was nothing to what I thought it could have been, he whispers to himself. He thinks back to the coloured brochures, pamphlets, posters and broadcasts declaring the excitement and challenge that only us Aussies could venture and accomplish. It was the war to end all wars, a war to be over by Christmas. Oh God, were they wrong. 2 months ago he was deployed to Gallipoli and he thinks of those fearful moments as he gets out of that boat. He remembers, we were steadying our rifles and getting ready for our next objective, the men chatting eagerly. The Turks should be bracing for us, Anzacs, terrified of our onslaught, they agreed in their excitement. The boat is coming closer to the land and the officer shouts, get out, now, go! In a swift movement we were off the boat, drenched of salt water to our waists, as we ran to the shore. We could see them on top of the cliff, peering down at us. We could feel their bullets in our direction, but we ran as fast as we could to do the job we came here to do. A couple of the men behind me are laughing and skipping through the water. This is no time for a joke. All of a sudden, there is no sound. Every man is fighting for his own life. The sound of bullets shower down as we run further to the target. Our guns are held high, our hands covering our faces as we run forward. Bullets are taking my comrades down around me, but I just keep running, shooting before me as we come face to face with our enemy. I fall to the ground, pain piercing into my calf, and the world slows into a darkened pause. Richard is back in his dirt-walled trench, looking at his leg. If it wasn't for Alec carrying him back to camp, he surely would have died. Alec laughs and wonders how he himself managed to carry Richard, but now he is gone with the others, as we fight this never-ending war of adventure. We are the men of courage and laughter, the men who fight till our last breath. It is a good way to try and be, given the circumstances. We have seen our mates fall beside us. We have caught chills and suffered from hunger, fighting for freedom, as they call it. But who is our enemy? What are we fighting for? The Turks have lost as much as we have, and the Germans don't look no different to us. Why are we avenging their deaths? If I ever have to look one in the eye, I would hope they shoot me first, Richard thinks to himself. Come on, Rick, get over here, you need some practice at your target. If we can't fight tonight, at least we can bet on our losses, Aaron calls out. Richard looks up. We may as well suffer in laughter than suffer in miserable silence. He gets up and limps to the group. You'd better watch out, my aim on the field is impeccable, he laughs. You saw those headlines back at Darling Harbour. Do you feel inspired? Do you wish to join them? What does your mum think about you leaving? You may never return home. You are waving from the deck of your ship, heading to the Somme with your comrades. Will you ever return? You are laughing along with your friends. The same inviting adventure awaits. What story will you bring back? A few weeks later, Richard is killed in hand-to-hand combat against the Turkish. He wasn't going back home, but his strength and courage are one of many. But the war wasn't what it was made out to be, and the Anzacs who were able to twist the nitty-gritty into a joke amused themselves even with a broken leg. It was a way of dealing with the atrocities of war, the loss of life physically and within themselves. The Anzacs were the larrikins and comrades to help when they were about to